Yeah. Another video in the car. I know. But I'm all dressed nice, so at least there's that. Anyway, I want to make a quick video about an idea I had for an app or a suite of apps or an extension to existing apps and services. As many of you may know, I'm a big proponent of free speech. It's probably my pet issue. I have friends who will say, well, you don't think there should be any limits on speech? And I'm of the mind, no. You know, apart from issuing a threat, apart from libel or slander, in which case, you know, people should be free to say those things, but just know that if you say something libelous or slanderous, you could face consequences for it. But in terms of uttering opinions, you know, even shit talking, I think people should be free to shit talk if they want. Insult, ridicule, that kind of thing. Anyway, so yeah, free speech. Jesus, you fucking maniacs. People are driving like idiots today just because it's a nice day. Anyway, so yeah, free speech, really important. Now, I just found out that apparently yesterday or the day before, Blair White was banned or suspended from Twitter for 30 days. I have no idea why. The story was on Heat Street, but I don't know the details, what she did or what she said on Facebook to suspend her for 30 days. It didn't last long. Apparently, a bunch of her followers on Facebook and people on social media said, hey, what the hell are you doing? Why would you suspend her? What did she, to remove her suspension immediately kind of thing. They started advocating on her behalf, and I guess less than 24 hours later, her account had been reinstated. Now, for somebody to be banned or suspended from Facebook for 30 days, generally it's pretty egregious, I guess. I think I remember I was suspended from Facebook for 30 days. I think it was 30 days for using the word faggot. And it's a pejorative, I know. It was not in the context of, attacking a homosexual or anything like that. It was, the sixth grader context, where you call everybody a faggot. Or at least when I was in sixth grade, you'd call people faggot, and it didn't have anything to do with them being gay. It had everything to do with them being an asshole or an idiot or just, being an annoying prick. When you're in grade 6, grade 7, annoying prick isn't the type of language you use. You call someone a faggot. Anyway, so if she did something along those lines, I can understand why she might have been banned or suspended from Facebook for 30 days. But I don't agree with it. They have a policy in place, and that's their right to have a policy on Facebook. When people use their platform, there's certain words they don't want them to use. I get it. Never mind that Facebook, gives a platform and allows people to say all manner of terrible, disgusting things, even calls for violence and threats and that sort of thing, depending on who you are and who you might be threatening or calling for violence on. The point is, it's an inconsistent application of the rule. There are certain words that will get you flagged and will get you suspended, and I guess that's a simple thing for them to do because it's easy to look for those things, right? You just have a bot running in the background, have a program running in the background looking for those phrases. And again, their right to do so. I don't agree with it. I wish they didn't. I wish the internet were like the Wild West that it was back in the early 2000s. I wish it was, message boards where people shared all sorts of terrible, disgusting language and imagery, and just was like I said, a Wild West, a free-for-all for ideas and disgusting speech. I wish the internet were more like 4chan and Candid and Minds. Now, I'm all for these platforms. platforms. I think that there should be free speech platforms alongside of the big ones, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. But the problem is that they are never going to get off the ground the way they are. So, because they're new entities, right? They're new entities. They have they have support from people who, have platforms and have positions of influence online, but they don't have the kind of economic backing that means they're ever going to really be able to compete in the marketplace with things like Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Although Twitter, I think, is dying, but I think it's going to be a very slow death. Facebook too might even die. Their hubris is insane. So eventually, people are going to get sick of their hubris and move to other platforms. But I have an idea to sort of hasten their demise, and I don't know if this idea would be in violation of certain copyright rules, certain, I guess, proprietary rules in terms of the programs. But my idea would be 3 big free speech counterparts to the big ones: Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And working titles for these three programs would be Fritter, Freebook, and FreeTube. I know they're not very imaginative, but they're capitalizing on the existing name brand of those 3 platforms. So now what the idea this is how it would work. It would be an app or a suite of apps that when you posted something on Facebook, it would automatically be reposted on Freebook. When you posted a video on YouTube, it would automatically be posted also on FreeTube. So it would be uploaded. It wouldn't just be linked, but it would be like a mirroring upload. It would mirror to that, not mirror, I guess. It would actually upload your content to FreeTube as well. And if you make a tweet on Twitter, a clone of that tweet automatically appears on Fritter. And so that people would be able to see these things even if they got deleted or even if you got suspended, right? And not only that, the app suite would notify you when something that you posted on Facebook got deleted or removed by the mods, and say, hey, it's also here on Freebook for anybody who wants to check it out. So basically, it would be routing traffic from your Facebook page to Freebook. It would be routing traffic from your YouTube channel to FreeTube, and it would be routing traffic from your Twitter feed to Fritter. Again, I don't know what the logistics would be involved in coding something like that. I don't know what the legalities would be involved in terms of basically it's piggybacking on an existing platform and an existing social media platform, and there may be violations for that. But I mean, there's lots of add-ons on Facebook for games that totally take your information and use it for their own purposes, for marketing or what have you. So I know that the capability would be there. It's just a matter of how much would Zuckerberg be open to something like that existing and being used on their platform, or whatever his face is at Twitter, or Google in terms of YouTube, right? Anyway, it's an idea I had. I don't know if it's a sound idea. If you're watching this video and you think there's some legs to it, consider it a freebie. How about that? If you do end up launching something like this and you want to throw some bucks my way, that'd be nice. It's something I've thought about for a while, but I simply don't have the coding chops to do something like that. And I certainly don't know the legalities of it or the logistics of it. But again, from a technical standpoint, I have no doubt it's doable. I guess it just comes down to legalities, right? Could you conceivably do that? So, and I'll try and reiterate or explain a little bit better. So basically, you post something on Facebook, right? And it gets flagged. So basically, your content gets taken down, your account gets suspended, but meaning you won't be able to post on your account, but your account is still there. People can still see your page. You just can't post on it for 30 days. But what happens is that the Freebook app or the Freebook suite or whatever you want to call it automatically sees that thing that was already mirrored to your Freebook account or your FreeBook page automatically post something immediately on your page or in place of. But how would it do that if your account's been suspended? Because it's not you, it's another program. But anyway, maybe if there's some way to work around the fact that you're suspended, but this companion app is posting on your behalf. Maybe you have to set up a duplicate account, a duplicate Facebook account, or maybe it sets up like a bot account on your behalf. This would be the responsibility of the FreeBook app. It set up a bot Facebook account on your behalf so that when your main Facebook account gets suspended, the bot Facebook app, which is an exact clone of your Facebook account, except for maybe a couple of characters somewhere, would post, "Hey, this content I put up has been removed by Facebook because they're dipshits. You can find it though on FreeBook." Boom, and it just redirects you there with a link. And the same would go again for Fritter and Free2 in terms of Twitter and YouTube. I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably a better alternative than people like Sargon of Akkad and Blair White and Dave Cullen and other people just saying, "Hey, check out Minds," or "Hey, check out Candid. I really like Candid. Candid's great. I like Candid too. It reminds me of 4chan. It reminds me of a 4chan app, except that it's a little bit, I don't know. It's a little bit clunky. It's all right. I'd like to see a 4chan app or a Candid app where basically, and I haven't used Candid in a while, so correct me if I'm wrong, maybe this has already been rectified, where you can have an account with your actual name on it, but you can also post anonymously if you want. The way it is for 4chan right now, 4chan, everybody posts anonymously, and people who decide to give themselves a username on a thread, they're called name fags, right? And people make fun of them, ridicule them, and the only real reason to post a name is if you've started a thread and you want people to be able to readily find your responses to their comments, right? But still, it's still fun to call someone a name fag on 4chan. So I'd like to see a 4chan app, and I remember, a while back, Milo Yiannopoulos was talking about buying 4chan. I mean, I guess it's a pipe dream. From what I understand, it has a pretty high valuation. But if it has a real high valuation, why the hell did Moot sell it? It's got crazy traffic, but there's just no way to monetize it. And I think that's the way to monetize it, right? Make a version of it where people can post with accounts, but also post anonymously if they choose to. And make it a true, free speech platform where people can just say whatever the hell they want. Barring threats, barring threats for violence, like saying I'm going to, shoot you in the face kind of thing, or I'm going to come to your house and kill you, or doxing. I mean, I think these are real problems on the free speech sites on the internet. Doxing can be an issue. And it would be up to the person creating this platform, this site, to decide how strict they're going to be on the whole doxing thing. Anyway, just my idea. Take it for what it's worth. Do with it what you will. I may kick myself in the ass for saying, hey, here's my great idea. It'll make you $1 million, and it's yours free for whoever wants to do it. Maybe it's not even a new idea. Maybe somebody else has already come up with it. But again, if you like the idea, if you think it's marketable, if you think it's something that can be done, and you have the technical chops to do it, go for it, man. Make it happen, and maybe throw some bucks my way, just for throwing it out there. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for now. I've got a long ride ahead of me, and I'm not going to rant for 30 minutes. So, thanks. Talk to y'all soon.